And hello, welcome everybody. Another episode of Hairyman, Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. Here we are again. What a week. What a week. I can't tell you. It just flew right by. I've been so busy. But I'm glad to see everybody here. It looks like we are growing. Woohoo, in the house. The chat is just streaming along. And I've got a great show for you today. I brought back, some good people. But also, I bring them. Because somebody's coming. Somebody is coming to see me. And it's Jay. Welcome, Jay, to the show. Jay Burch, everybody, from Bigfoot BBQ. Welcome.
I barely got that horse stopped. I barely got it to stop to get right to your door.
Really got it. I thought you were going to come through the door. For sure. It's good to see you, my friend. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of this anymore, so I'm happy to be here.
Me too. Me too. I'm just getting so excited for things coming up, and we're going to talk about all that today. And I hope everybody has got your popcorn ready, and we will do this thing. But I think somebody else is coming tonight. I hear somebody coming. I don't know.
That's a chopper, isn't it?
Yeah, that's somebody's coming in all the way from Canada. I think, but we'll have. Welcome, Mr. Leon Thomas.
I'm going to get you with an opener. I'll tell you. I'm still thinking about it. I'm thinking about how to do it for you. I might use Molly's doll.
Hey, Leon, how are you doing tonight?
I'm trying to eat the cracker.
Yeah. I told him he could have his cheese and crackers. It's okay. It's all right. Everything's all good.
Yeah, I was on Joe's show, his big birthday show.
Yeah, I was so busy. I couldn't get on there. I couldn't get on today. I would, though. He knows I would.
I saw a little bit of it. Happy birthday, Joe. That's some funny stuff about little Willie or whatever that was.
I know. And I had an intention of going on there. I just got so busy running around doing stuff before tonight. I even had a special little gift for him, a little
happy birthday.
Yeah, I was gonna but I didn't get a chance to get on there. So, but I love you, Joe, and wish you all the best and many more to come. And we'll catch you on the flip side with the
Joe. How are you? These guys, all you guys, thank you for a Pure Scripted, my friend. All you guys, thank you so much for the hellos and all that. Eyes in the Woods. Thank you, guys. I'm glad to be here tonight. Gary Johnson, good to see you, my friend. We're talking about you today. So
we have Sandra Piper and Angel Joe, Western New York Bigfoot. Curious Cryptid, Steve. Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Caucasian Sasquatch, Eyes in the Woods. Gary Johnson, good to see you. John Ayers, what's up? Yes, you like that white hat? We all love that white hat. It's great. I am going to wear that. Oh, okay. I'm stepping up. I'm stepping.
Holy.
Stepping too much ahead. That's in the big announcement near the end of the show. So see, you have to stay. You have to stay to hear the big announcements. Oh my goodness.
Are you hungry, Liam?
I'm hungry.
Wait. Because you two are both great cooks. That I can't not think of cooking. That I have to eat.
You have to eat.
Things I got very very special cheese.
Okay.
And it's not gonna be my mouth full because, between Jay's barbecue, like just saliva, and then watching Nikki make her massive dinners for the Grey Cup. Well, I don't know if you guys don't have the Grey Cup, but your sports spreads you do and your Christmas spread.
Oh yeah. All my
Oh my God,
big stuff.
Watching you
Nikki and I will be cooking together. Whoops, never mind.
No, that's yeah. Don't go too far. I'm using that.
Teaser, big teaser.
I can make some cheese and crackers like you would not believe. Woo!
We can make those special. So Caucasian, Val, Forensic Mystics. Hey, Cassie, welcome. Sharon with the 2 R's. Who that? I said Sandra. We've got the Howler. Oh, I need to make a good Howler little sound. If I miss you, I'm sorry, but I see you. I see everybody here. And it's great to see you. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into the show. So I want to hear what's going on. Jay, you stepped away for a little bit, took a breather, and but I know here we are watching you cook again, and brought back your Bigfoot BBQ.
I had to take a break. I just I got so burnt out on everything that the Bigfoot world. I just had to I unfriended almost everybody I knew, and I didn't want anything to do with anybody. I was just like, I was so sick of it. I wonder why people like me and people that have really had, like encounters, and not always terrifying, but I mean, truthful, real encounters, can't get a second from anybody. But boy, they'll fill all the conferences and all the other things up with authors and people who've never even seen a track, and it got to the point where it shouldn't bother anybody, honestly, but it finally got to me, and I just didn't want to. I got to the point where if I went on somebody's show and I was in their chat, I became an asshole toward people and stuff like that. Now that's not me. So I just decided I need to step away for a while. And the death of Carrie Arnold really affected me too. I missed Daniela for a very long time. And I realized that, I was wrong for some of the things I did. And so we were able to get together and talk, and we talk now often. And that helped me out a great deal because she forgave me, and I was a real asshole. I said a lot of bad things that I should never have said. And so I had to take a break and ask myself a lot of questions, why are you so bitter about all this stuff? And I got well. I just got better and better, and I was able to. I quit cooking and everything. It doesn't mean I quit cooking. I just quit filming cooking and stuff like that. So I didn't put as much love in it either, So, but I'm back 100%. In fact, better than 100%. I'm ready to go. Ready to do some fun things.
That's good to hear. We're glad to have you back. We were giving you that space. In my case, I was giving you that space. I knew you needed it, and that was your wish. So I wasn't trying to stay away from you.
No, you and I talked privately quite a bit during that.
Privately, yeah. But as far as shows and stuff, and I knew that you needed that break, and that's what you needed, and you came back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you're tempting us with all those meats on the grill, let me tell you. And it's a good thing to see, and we all enjoy it. I know a lot of people do, and glad to have you back.
Yeah,
so,
I'm glad. I'm very happy that I've been accepted back too. A lot of people can't just leave and come back because I got nothing to show anybody or anything like that. I am a person. That's who I am. I'm real about what happened to me and my wife and all that stuff. And I've never tried to gain a thing for it. And my biggest wish is that I could go back in time and never have gone there. And it just, none of this would have ever happened. The only thing that keeps bringing me back to it is that I realized I would have never met you guys, a lot of you guys, gals. So it's, I've really got some solid friends. I mean, Brent Brent behind the scenes, him and I, we've talked a lot throughout the last few years and all that, you know, and I think I have more respect for him than a lot of almost anybody because he puts himself straight out there. People don't understand. He damn near lives in the woods. When he goes out and does, he's literally walking miles into the woods. He's really doing the research. Yeah. And he's another one. He's never asked for anything. He's just showing you, you know, what's out there. And then he's trying to help everyone with when he shows who's hoaxing and who's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Yeah. Has it been a year since you were on before? Has it already been since you and Monda came on? And
it's been a while.
It's been a while, huh? I didn't go back and look, but the more I'm thinking about it, it's been a while since you've been on. And anybody out there in the chat that wants to hear Jay's encounter, you can go back and search that up as Jay Burch, listed as Jay Burch, and I also interviewed his wife Monda. So
I just turned down like 2 weeks ago. Somebody wanted me to do their show and talk about the encounter. I said, I'm done talking. That was almost 6 years ago. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm moving forward. And that's one thing Leon kind of taught me was move forward. I mean, there's no reason. Go look at whatever 5 or 6 or 7 shows I did. You can get it from there. You don't need me to talk about it. You don't need me to tell you what happened. You know, it's just, God, what I am. I'll tell you what that makes me feel like. It makes me feel like I'm a show bitch. You know,
your show. Get over here.
Now, Monda's filming her show right now, which is the Leftover show. It's still Bigfoot BBQ, but after our Saturday show, then she films the Leftover show, and she will take whatever I've made, and she'll make leftovers in certain. She's making a la chicken tonight, and that'll probably be released next Friday.
Yummy, yummy! Having a dinner. That sounds good. But I understand you went back out into the woods, went back out to your area, and you actually had some activity this time.
Lots of activity. The funny thing is like I took Brent and Curious Cryptid to the actual spot where it happened. Well, we had people like homeless people literally in that spot. I couldn't get in that spot this year. So what we did, it's the same ridge, but it goes for several miles. So what we did is we went to the next camp up, and then we camped at about 3 or 4 camps up, big, wide open, dispersed camping. And we had, of course, our adult children and our grandkids. We had friends that have grown up with our boys that are, you know, adults now too and everything. And the only thing that we were kind of allowing forever is whooping. You can whoop. You can whoop if you're in the camp. Well, my daughter-in-law has not believed this, what happened to me and my wife or any of that, you know, until the whooping started. That she's listening to the whooping come from the woods. And then, so my son's telling me on one of our camp trips this year up there that he's laying there and all of a sudden he could hear the whoops and he could hear footsteps even. And he says, I'm not going to say her name. His wife grabs him by the side of the arm and says, do you hear that? He said, yes. And so she was a little upset with me the next morning, but she believes it now. And it was weird things like I was like, when I go to bed, you know, I take those sleeping pills, I'm out, I'm done. But I do struggle in some of the times we're up on Mount St. Helens to even I've taken 3 of those pills and have woke up you know, like every hour for a couple minutes. And my problem is I don't want to hear anything. And so that's where I struggle is I don't want to hear anything. So I'll cover my ears and everything and try to go back to sleep. But yeah, there was almost even the guests, the kids that grew up with my boys, and they were complaining also that they heard stuff. And there was things that were like moved around and stuff like that. Just little things you had to pay attention to notice. So But yeah, my daughter-in-law, she was not happy. And my son, the big one, I always talk about my youngest son. We call him Sasquatch Jr. He doesn't like it either. Now my grandson, he'll sit there and he will whoop and he will whoop, and that makes his mama so mad. But you know, we've had him doing that stuff since he was a little boy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I told you that I was with a friend and his daughters, I believe 2 years ago, camping up there, and his daughter, for every whoop, she was 14 at the time, for every whoop she gave, another one came back almost immediately off that ridge.
Wow.
And
Ooh, that kind of gave me the chills.
oh, she did it like 5 times in a row, and it whooped back. It was that fat. It was returning because her 14-year-old girl voice. I told her, don't try to change anything, just whoop in your 14-year-old girl voice. And then our dog, Sibylla, our German Shepherd, alerted. Her cackles were up, and she was literally went on a full rah, 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 rah at the edge of the forest there in the camp. And before she finally settled down, but there was something there. And then my friend, when it was just him and I standing at the campfire, like 10 o'clock at night, it was just me and him left. You know, a couple guys were drinking beers. It's pouring down rain, so I got a fire going, but it's, you know, we're huddled up there, both of us talking about things, and all of a sudden a nice big deep whoop came from that ridge. And of course he didn't hear any of it. He's one of those guys that's worked his whole life without using earplugs or any of that kind of stuff, so his hearing is completely damaged. I was shocked because it was so loud. But yeah, it was so for the last couple of years, it really has been. Are we out?
Uh-oh.
Okay, I see. We got a bunch of weather going on here.
Yeah, I hear it. It's wonderful. I love to hear the rain. No, you're okay now. I think we're.
It seemed like every time we went up, now we went up further. We went as high as we've been in a while this year with our oldest grandson and his girlfriend and both the boys and all that. And we had a great weekend up there. We went to a place. I met a guy, not a trapper. He was a miner. I met him 4 years ago, I think, 4 or 5. He's dead now, but he showed me a picture I can't believe it's never been circulated. It was very, very nicely. It was an adult male that had grabbed a tree and actually jumped with the tree like a pole vault and landed on the pavement, still holding it while he was running. This was in 2012. He still had the picture when I met him. He just reached back with his phone and took a picture. It was a flip phone, and he had the pixels turned down a little bit. For close-ups.
Oh.
But it was, you could see the eyes, the face, the hands, the feet, the whole thing. He told me what happened was, now in this spot we went to, that there's a waterfall up there. It's a small one. And he was illegally actually pulling gems out of that. But he heard something and it scared him, so he started to run. He said all of a sudden a big adult Sasquatch jumped out of the forest into that pavement and just went across the street, and then another one, and then another one, and then the biggest one.
What? Oh my goodness.
rode that tree, and the tree's still there. It's old now, but I mean, it's still there. He took me up there and showed me. Guy helped us fix our truck all them years ago. I think it was 2017 that he helped us fix our truck. We got stuck up there, and I ended up sharing a camp with him. But his name was Tony. But he showed me this picture, and then he took it. He showed me the one that his sister cleaned it up and blew it up. It was really nice. But he showed me this text he got from the one Derek Reynolds is involved in, what is that on the Olympic project?
Yeah.
So he got an email from that. He sent it to the BFRO, but he gets an email back. He showed me the email. I witnessed this email. They wanted to meet with him, the Olympic project, and talk to him about it. And I was like, I wonder what they would want with this. Well, I talked to Derek Reynolds at Squatch Fest 2 he said he had no knowledge of it in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and I believe him. I believe Derek.
Mhm.
He said he'd never. I told him, I said, well, I read the email. It came from you guys. So,
Mhm.
but he never heard from the BFRO, and he would like show that to anybody that would listen to him. So, very believable. He was dying. He had a colostomy bag. He was literally just, he was on his last of everything, and he was living his life the way he wanted to live it up there prospecting. So, even my grandson's girlfriend, who is my deceased best friend, his daughter, her older sister knew him too. They, because she's been all over these mountains growing up here. So Tony was one of those guys you could believe him because he's just lived up there. So, but yeah, that's always bugged me because that picture should have got around. That was one of the few that you could literally go, yeah. So, and I got to see it.
Well,
So
I get the impression he wasn't online. He was just out
oh
there.
no, he lived up in the forest. He was one of those guys you could smell him from 20 feet away. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Oh my God,
Jay.
we try to sit with him, and I shared a beer with him and all that stuff. And I'm just, but that's how he lived, man. So
Yeah.
it's Bat Mom, my favorite lady.
Hi, Bat Mom. How's it going? Sasquatch Wizard, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot of people that have some good photos or videos, but they're not interested in,
Well, I just wonder why, because I've heard Cliff and Bobo talk about, oh yeah, we've seen the pictures. People keep them hidden away and all that. Why? I don't understand. I mean, we're so infested. This is another thing that just got me over the edge. We're so infested, got me with the here we're going back. But it got me with the fuzziness and the pixels and the little eyeballs they're in a billion leaves, and it's like, he didn't have that. He had a nice picture. So but I don't anymore. I don't care. If that's what you want to, if you want to put that all over the internet, your fuzzy ass, whatever, go ahead, man. I don't care. I'm not going to have it destroy my mental. You guys carry on the way you want to carry on. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to go for the truth. So.
Yeah, for sure. But you didn't end your season that way because you guys had a tremendous amount of fires that started up there.
We were not allowed. Now, when I had the year previous, or was it the year previous? Well, we had Steve and Brent up there. The first week Steve came up, we couldn't have fires, so we used a fake fire, propane fire. And we weren't able to have fires for like that entire summer. And then the next time they came up, we were able to have a fire. Well, last year, from July to the end of summer, no fire. So whatever happened up there, somebody lit a fire. It started out with 5 acres on a ridge, and it suddenly became thousands. And I was like back and forth on our little town chat with sparring with the firefighters. Like, you guys, you screwed this up. You know it. You won't admit it. How did this go from 5 acres to here we are 3 weeks later, and it's thousands because you didn't respond? And they were telling us, well, we don't always give this or that complete attention, and on and on. They had a helicopter crash in the lake up here. They had airplanes out here getting water from the reservoir up there at Merrill Lake. They had helicopters getting water up there, and they let they just blew it, man. Thousands of acres. Here's the thing: on this side, that is the ridges and stuff where we get most of the activity. The fires came on this other side that burned thousands of acres. Now we've heard the whoops and all that other stuff on both sides when you get up to this particular area, and so it just, oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell. Oh, okay. So I'm not going to. I keep almost jumping forward.
Just slow down.
I know. Don't jump forward yet. But I do have a Google map here of your area that that might help. So down here at the bottom is cougar.
Yeah.
And are you saying that the fires were over onto this right side?
You have to enlarge that a little bit. I'm an old man now.
How do I do that? I think I just
There you go.
Woo.
Okay, so here's the reservoir.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so there you got the ape. No, go that way. You got is that the ape caves there?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, so that's a little bit different. So I don't want to say the road. I'm just going to tell you it's up here. It's up there.
It's up near the top more.
There's too many people that actually are watching this that are Oregon or Washington. I don't. That's plus I have to be careful for myself. This is a small town. It won't be hard to find.
Yeah. Well, I'm just asking about the fires.
Yeah,
right
the fires were mostly on
fires.
on the right side and the ridges.
Uh-huh.
And it destroyed a lot. And there's the elk habitat up there is what I'm most concerned with, because they have logged the crap out of that in the last couple of years. What used to be solid forest, and all of a sudden there's a big opening, and then on the right side there's a huge opening, and you could literally see the elk standing there just staring at out there and everything. Yeah. They're losing a lot, so almost everything's going to move to that right side, predators included, in my opinion. That's a beautiful reservoir, and when you start going up, there's a place you can pull over and you can look down and see the whole town of Cougar and the reservoir and all that. And this is the side we actually live on. That the poison, or the bad side, that where all the destruction was, is a couple hour drive, but it's worth it. It's beautiful up there and everything. So thinking about taking a few friends up there and sometime this summer. That's the reservoir that's behind my house, my trailer, what is this, a fifth wheel. We actually walked through the forest, and we walk down with our dog. There's a rope, and so we slide down the rope and then we fish and swim, and wife and I will go have a couple drinks together down there. It's just cool.
Wow, it's beautiful. Small, very small.
It's not even a town anymore. It used to be a town, but then it became an untown. We don't have a mayor. We don't have a sheriff. No, with the Clark County and Skamania County and the county we're in, they all share. They'll take one for 1 week. One of them will come up and be, patrol and all that stuff. It's the outsiders that cause the problems up here. None of the locals cause any problems. The outsiders literally come up here and just destroy everything in sight. So no respect at all.
You're really surrounded by a lot of water.
A lot of water and a lot of forest. The Gifford Pinchot National Forest is just a couple clicks up the road. And then if you jump on another road and go another way, you're going to still wind up on that Gifford Pinchot National Forest. And it's beautiful. It's freaky. They close. It's hard to get into the Suisun. That is Sasquatch heaven, the Suisun, but it's hard to get in there. That is one of the most primitive, spooky. Just can't get in there. And I was hoping someday, get some kind of like multi-million-dollar backing to really do a full-blown expedition, that we can possibly get a key to get into some of these spots in the Suisun, because that stuff is ancient, scary. That's where we had, when my kids were growing up, the Sasquatch would be on the other side of the small ancient river, and they would throw boulders in the water all night. So,
oh wow,
that is a man-made reservoir. There's houses and everything underneath it from whenever they built it in the 20s or whatever. There are a couple of years ago when we had a bad drought, there was a covered wagon that came up that was visible. You can't collect anything out of there or anything. That's you can go to jail for that stuff. So I just prefer not to have the droughts. In the last couple of years, it's weird as we've had this pouring rain. I lost a lot of my garden stuff and my cherries and stuff because the entire month of June last year was nothing but a rainforest up here. And then all of a sudden the sun came out and it was devastatingly hot. The entire, those fires went on for so long that you couldn't get up there to do the mushroom hunts because mushroom season came and went. You weren't allowed up there. We wanted to go up to take pictures, and we could only get up. We couldn't even. I don't think we even got as far as Merrill Lake, and they had already had the road shut off. There's people up there, sheriffs and all that. Nobody was getting through, so that went on for a long time. So we missed completely the mushroom season this year, and it made me worry, honestly, for all the animals up there. And I actually do worry what goes on for the Sasquatch when we have these giant fires. Because I don't know what they do. Shit, I don't know anything about them. I just saw one. So I wish that they would keep a better hand. When they say there's no fires, they need to patrol that and be serious about it because people go up there. At 4th of July, there was no fireworks, no fires, none of that. We were up there.
Whoa.
And,
yeah, well, we keep going, so I can see where. Okay, keep going just a little bit more.
Oh
no, that's too much. So I'm up there. There's Kamloops, there's Vernon, Kelowna, the island in Kelowna.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's where you are down there, where it says, okay, yeah, the secret thing. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. Not say no more. Okay, no, that's
You're here, and he's
right.
here, and I'm way over here.
Well, I look back and I remember when Renee DeHannen drove all the way from BC to, and I could, all the way from BC to the Eagles Cliff store way back in '92 for the little thing we put on with Will Jevening all them years ago. So I fully think
with your fires, I mean, that fire you're talking about there, that was, I remember walking on my place here. And that smoke from your guys' fire was up where we were, that's 6 hours away by drive. I'm pretty sure 7 at the most.
It was awful that for me, like I said, at 4th of July, we were up there and it said every mile, it said no fireworks. So you're talking about a national forest and these forests up here, they're thick. They're not like the ones when you go to Yakima. That's more of a pine forest. These ones up here, the Gifford Pinch, is thick. So sure enough, you got this couple. Well, so they had a whole camp with like 20 people in it. And all of a sudden you start hearing the fireworks and you're seeing the. So somebody drove by and told them, hey, you can't have fireworks up here. Of course, they told them to F off and all that stuff. Well, within a couple hours, one of the forest department people pulled into our camp and just wanted to say hi, make sure nobody's lighting off fireworks. I said, it ain't us. Those people over there, I'll tell on you. Those people over there have been lighting them off all day. Within an hour, those people were packed up and gone. So these fires are devastating when everything is, man, that is just pounded too. But they're devastating up there. It's all old growth. Not old growth, but new growth, some old growth. And with sometimes we get the moths and all that shit that destroys some of the trees. And the trees have been sunburnt now. The last 3 years in a row, the trees have been sunburnt awfully. And that's just tinder ready for a spark. So that ruined the end of our, we actually ended up going to further up the state, Monday night, because I bought a 1962 Can-Ham trailer, and we decided we'd give that a shot, and we went up to a different place for not for Bigfoot. Bigfoot ain't everything to me. We like to camp, so we went up and spent some time up a little further east and stuff. So it was fun. We had a couple nice weekends up there. So I'm more just out to have some fun, and I think part of this is. That's what we were doing when the Sasquatch came to us to begin with. started that whole thing is we were just doing what people do when they camp. And so other than I was kind of throwing out whoops and whatever I shouldn't have, but I learned from that. So
bad.
but yeah, that's all we ever did was just camp. And then they came to us, and all those years where we camped that's shut down now, with that old Lewis River flowing through it, they would throw rocks in there. Every time we've ever went, they would throw huge rocks in there just before dark, and then for about an hour after dark. And you just sit there at your camp and you hear kaboom, kaboom. It's just over and over.
Wow.
I used to tell I remember my nephew said, he says, "Uncle, why don't you go over there with the flashlight?" I said, "Because I don't want to." They never did anything. I wasn't afraid back then. I just knew that they're giving us some sort of a show, and I respected that. There was no reason to bother them.
You should have, Jay. You should have gave your flashlight to your grandson and say, "You go up there." No. Okay, that's why I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, that was my nephew. He's
nephew. Sorry. No.
Actually, he's not a blood relative, but these boys, I was their male influence growing up, so they called me uncle, and they still do to this day.
Nice.
And they're Native American, and I was the person that took them camping and bought them Christmas and taught them how to fish and all kinds of fun things. I love these kids. Their mom was my best friend for years and years and years still. So
it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, no, it is.
Is that your aquarium in the background, by the way?
Yeah. Me?
Well, yeah, it sounds like a.
Oh,
major.
That's this. Our trailer is right now because of the rains. I need to get it.
Oh, it's rain. That's what I'm hearing.
It's rain. It's rain.
Yeah. Sorry. Getting old like Joe is. That's right. We're all getting old. Dependence is right around the corner. Dependent. No. What are they called? Diapers for adults. Depends. That's what they are.
Oh, that's Windy Ridge. Okay. You've got Blue Lake. I hiked up to Blue Lake this year because I'd gotten sick again and was suffering from extreme fatigue. So I was able to just force myself to start walking a little bit. And we actually hiked up to Blue Lake. It's up there on Mount St. Helens. And it's about a 2 3/4 mile. I caught a fish and it was beautiful. I waded out into that ice cold water. Woo.
Are you allowed to go on that environment? Like, are you allowed to walk around or hike around in there, like in there and stuff like that?
Now on the Johnson Ridge side, now when I was up there in the 90s, it still looked like the day the mountain blew, and they were very strict about you don't feed the chipmunks, you don't step on a blade of grass. There was some trails that were made specifically to walk on. They decided to let this look like the beginning of time.
Oh yeah.
And so they had specific walkways you could walk on, and if you touched anything, literally you'd go to jail. You couldn't touch anything, nothing. So that was it was beautiful to look at, but the devastation I was scared while we were up there, because we were right there where David Johnson died.
Wow.
That ridge.
Jay, is this because this is Google Maps, I'm assuming. And sometimes on Google Maps you look at it and it looks kind of like there's trees and non-treed areas. So is it fairly this treeless right now still? Or is it
Well, we went up there in 90 something, it was billions of trees. You were able to walk to a certain area and look and watch what happened there. That's why, I get so upset when they start that the helicopters came up and got the Bigfoots and stupid. It's awful. And it scares me to go up there. It still scares me to go up there because you could see, it looks like you could touch the mountain right where the crater's at. And it's a nice little place to visit if you've got $1,000, they went $5 for a slice of pizza, $6 for a can of pop, they really, it's awful. But It's to look at what Mother Nature is capable of, unbelievable. And they're only letting, now they don't understand where the fish came from. Cold Lake wasn't there. And Spirit Lake has been moved. Spirit Lake, because of the when the mountain blew, Spirit Lake literally moved. It was pushed out and moved. Cold Lake was developed. And now there's fish in there. Nobody put fish in there. So somehow there's something that nature does that's some kind of survival that's possible. And it's amazing because there's big fish in these lakes. And you have to stay on a certain path to fish them too. You can't go, it's a certain path. You're not allowed. They want this to come back naturally with no help from man. So, and
how long ago was it?
May 18th, 1980. I was 18 years old, standing in formation at Cleveland Memorial Army. I was a corporal, and standing there in formation, and you had a perfect view of Mount St. Helens, and it blew up, and we all got activated right there. But I didn't get to go there. I was company clerk, so I had to stay and do all the paperwork, answer the phones, direct people here and there, and all that kind of stuff. So it was really something. It was unbelievable to witness that as such a young person. So
I remember I was in school, or I was young too, but I remember the day that blew. I remember looking outside to see if I could see where the smoke was coming up. The billow of smoke, because the airline was affected by the smoke of the explosion, right? So and I thought, 600 miles away, but you should be able to see this cloud cover or whatever like that. But it wasn't what I was expecting. Of course, it was more like a TV show. That's what was in my head. It was just smoke. Anyways, but it was interesting. I had that. It's a beautiful area, man.
I lived in Portland. I lived in Portland at the time, and I can tell you that it looked like it was snowing in Portland, but it was the ash coming down, and it was all gray and dark out, and we didn't hardly get any of it. Honestly, there in Portland, Oregon, and compared to Montana and places like that, in the direction that blew, it's I don't know. It's something I feel privileged to have seen that in my life. So it was kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Too. It's beautiful.
Other than the deaths, that's the part that bothers me, is people don't understand there was so much death involved in that. Yeah. Human beings, people coming out of the forest days later with broken arms and torn flesh and burnt, and it was awful. And to think that there would even for a second be some helicopter and some pet Sasquatch in a Jeep with, and here's the thing that people don't understand. And I tried to tell this young man, Connor, one day when he was on a jet that wanted to challenge me because I didn't have the clearance. National Guard people don't have clearance, brother. No, we didn't have clearance. We're a bunch of losers who either had to go to jail or go serve our country, go do 6 months of some training and then come back and serve once a month. I mean, honestly, that wasn't for me, but that's the way a lot of it was. And there was nobody has clearance in the National Guard. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, man. So,
oh man,
that's nice. It's nice. A lot of your, like, I look at that area. The reason why I asked you about if that's cleared area, can you walk on that area? I just thought, my gosh, if there's a place to find tracks, that's it right there. You know what I mean? Like, you could easily see it, especially if you fly over that with a drone in the wintertime, but the roads would be probably brutal to get up there.
Yeah.
And just look for because that's so open area, it's all going to be white snow. So and that's a huge area. If you looked at the kilometer distances between the north side, the south side, east and west, 200 kilometers, if not more. You could look at that ground. There's no tree coverage. The snow is going to be flat. It's going to be like looking at a piece of paper. You're looking for dots approximately 46 inches apart of footprints, black dots on a white piece of paper right there.
Yeah.
and you could cover the area fairly effectively. Now, I'm not saying you can go up there unless you have Skidoo and all that kind of other shit. Well, you probably couldn't do that at all right now, but what you can certainly find out is where the direction of a Sasquatch would be going in that kind of a layout. That
right now, the mountain is so gorgeous. It's literally covered solid white. Nice. Gorgeous. Mount Hood is the same way. Mount Adams, and you get to see from where I'm at and from Vancouver to here, you get to see all of them. You get to see Mount Hood over there in Oregon. You get to see Mount St. Helens, of course, where I'm at, and you get to see Mount Adams. Mount Adams is another one so beautiful. And
so, just out of curiosity, Jay, from Steve, where not to be specific, but how far is Steve from your place, and how far is Brent from your location?
I think both of those guys are quite a ways from me. I'm always grateful because Steve has to drive quite a ways, and then him and his wife stay as long as possible. I mean, my gosh, but I think it takes them a while, and then they'll. I was grateful last year that they were able to just get a motel in town and then come back up and spend more time because he's one of my favorite people, to be honest with you. Him and his wife.
How long of a drive would he have?
Steve, how long was that drive you had to come up?
I think I asked him, but I forgot because, my brain's not as functional as it used to be. Or I don't know if
4 hours.
Okay. And Brent is about the same, or?
I believe so. I think so. Right. That's why I want to make it longer instead of when they come up for a weekend.
Right.
Look at those ridges. They're so beautiful.
No, as I'm talking about, I mean, the whole thing, I mean, even scoping those areas and stuff. I mean, the nice thing is, even if you had to stay on certain walking areas, you can scope that whole area. And again, but the snow would be unbelievable to get up there in the wintertime. But, just sit there and camp and scan the whole bloody side of that ridge side there. When you showed me the first picture, Nikki, of the Mount St. Helens there, the first one, the very you put on, and the way the ridges and the way the pocket looks like that, we have a. Yeah. I did a video on a site. It's called Fortress Mountain here, but it's shaped just like that. And there was a white Sasquatch that was reported on the ridge, and that ridge is just like that video you showed at the top part of that Mount St. Helens close-up you did there. And I just thought, yes, but again, I mean, you have so much no tree cover there that it would just assist you to. They have to go from island to island, tree island, to stay in. So you got that huge space there. You can fly over there with a drone and just look for those tracks. And you also learn about other tracks by doing that. You'll be able to recognize the kind of things.
I'm hoping that someone actually has a drone.
Well, you never know in the near future.
No, I really, yeah.
There might be somebody.
Because I really want to talk to Grasshopper too. So there's a lot of these. I'm fascinated when we're driving because you always see like a granite ridge, and you got all these trees, and you got all these things, and I've always wanted to be dropped off up on a place like that and research whatever animal might be up there. It's fascinating to me. I want to get, like, my wife's boss has one of those spotting scopes that sees miles, and literally he's got it in his living room, and he lives up on top of one of the hills, and you look at that and you can literally see people in their houses 5 miles away. It's amazing to me. I would love to have something like that to focus on some of the ridges.
Well, I mean, even if I look at this, I mean, I know it's an active volcano and stuff like that, but just I look at how that ridge is set up there, and I have 4 different UV cameras, north, south, east, and west, from the top of those ridges. You can't do that because it's a volcano, but where I'm at, that's the idea of what we would do. The only nice thing is you'd have all that clearing space. So if they walk through that at nighttime or whatever, like that, the whole right side of that video that she's panning around on right now, you're going to get something. You're going to get a hit on that. And because there's no trees there, you don't have to worry about as much the blob squatching, because you're going to see a human being walking up there. Human beings not supposed to be walking up there in that area, right? So that's enough
right.
information you need that helps verify
Well,
that you're not seeing a human. And there might be, like you said, the street people or whatever they are that are hanging out there. I'm not saying street people are bad, or street people are bad, but that's not what I'm saying. But
the street cooks are awesome, though.
homeless people, I guess you could say. But yeah, I mean, I look at that whole area, just thinking of all that space there where you've got opportunities to find tracks, which is, I think, for me, one of the first steps you need to do. And then figure out which way they're going, north, south, east, west. What time of year is it they're going that direction? You can do that. Be a good place to study.
That's what I'm interested in. I want to know when the snows come. I have found behind us that this is timberland behind us that is owned by a corporation, but I have found trees that, like 6-7 feet up, the limbs, that big around, are twisted. They're not busted, but they're twisted. And so I always wonder, and I always find another one too that's in the same direction. So I just wonder, what are they doing? What's going on when the snows come? I think obviously they come down lower, and I do think some of the locals have no problem leaving food out. They don't talk about it or anything, but I've run into people that will talk for a minute and then they just shut up and they don't want to talk about it. That bugs the crap out of me. But I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they go. That's the thing. This is why I want to do this. I want to do these kinds of things. My wife bought our youngest son a trail cam this year. And when he's opening it, I looked over and I was like, are you kidding me? How many years have I asking for one of those? God dang, man. So I'll borrow his, man. I think that if people use trail cams, I find them all the time in the woods. I just wave at them. They're so obvious is what gets me. I find a pile of grain. The first thing I do is start going like this. Where's the camera? Because these are guys trying to, and it's legal in this state to attract the deer or elk, just to make sure they're there. Then you have to, no more of that you're trying to get pictures and stuff. So, but I want to put one up like 10 feet in the air, pointing down. Bring a ladder and literally tie one up high enough to point down so that all the regular creatures, raccoons tear them things up, bears do. There's even pictures of elk trying to eat them and fighting them with their antlers and stuff. So I would like to get them a little bit higher. Now I can take. That's a place that's just right up the street from me.
Okay, this is Ape Canyon.
Yes, this is Ape Caves.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah, can you tell us a bit about that?
Ape Caves is you need to put a coat on. The temperature stays the same year round. You have to put a coat on. You have to make sure you have a lamp, a lantern, or a very nice flashlight that's fully charged. And it's beautiful in there. There's a lot of history inside there. It's about a mile walk. And there is one room that you have to boost somebody up in there. And it's got all the way from the 20s. People were like, going to war, love you, this and that, type. It's beautiful. It's pitch black. You cannot go in there without some kind of light. These, I love those. Those flowers, they're all over up on Mount St. Helens. I love those. Those are wild chrysanthemums, I believe.
Wow.
And they get purple too. Gorgeous.
Oh, nice.
How did it get its name? Ape Caves.
Ape Caves.
Yeah,
I don't know. I know why Ape Canyon is named Ape Canyon, but I don't know why they call Ape Caves Ape Caves.
Right. How far does it go in?
One of them isn't very long, and one of them's a little over a mile. Now, these are lava tubes, and there's that's where I think maybe they hang out. Not in these two, but I think that's wild strawberries. Those, if you can find them before the animals get them, they're oh man, they're good.
That's
You got
cool.
huckleberries up there. You got the elderberries. You got the wild blueberries, and yeah, all that's
Is it
beautiful.
free to the public, or does it cost money to go in?
You have to have a forest pass, and I think you have to pay to park. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot
That's
that
cool.
you have to do.
That looks really cool.
And that's where that's where I'm at. That's where I go.
Oh, there's beetles. No, I can't go. No, I can't. Crawl across your face in your sleeping bag.
Yeah, the dispersed camping to me is the only way to go. I don't like paying for someone to tell me I got to turn the lights out, shut up at 10 o'clock, type of thing. So, what does that say? Ape cave?
That's the Ape Cave upper entrance.
Okay.
There's a lower one as well.
Yep. What about Ape? Can you look up Ape Canyon?
That's what I was just about to do. Oops.
Ape crazy.
Canyon.
That's hard to get to. Now I'm going to talk to Mark Marcel at the end of the month. I'm going to Squatch Fest because Kathy Strain's going to be there, and her and I have been internet friends for a long time. So I'm going to go and meet up with her and her husband Bob, and then I'm going to talk with Mark too. Mark's the one that found the frame, the actual where the cabin really was, where those miners had it. So I'm going to spend a little time talking to him, and I want to invite him to something too. So he's a nice guy. He's a big guy too, man. He was going to be before me and Mona. When I got to COVID, I couldn't talk anymore for an hour for a long time. I can't sing anymore either. But he was scheduled to come on, and Kathy and Amy Boo were going to come on too. So I just couldn't. I had to cancel it all out because I couldn't talk anymore for any kind of time. So, but yeah, I'm going to meet up with him and all that. It's like everybody knows, like Daniela told me the other day, I thought you hated those things. I said, I do, but Kathy's going to be there, and so is Mark. So I'm going to go hang with them,
Yeah, you don't hate the people. You hate the other stuff. Yeah.
It's the garage sale part of it that I hate.
Yeah.
I love that part. Oh my god!
You like shopping? Girls like shopping. Guys
are man, you see that water? There's so many spots on the lower camps going up. It's just like this. So, there are times I'll go when we used to camp in the lower spots. I would go. Now this is before our encounter, of course, but there's so many berries up there, even black currants, which I love black currants. That I would just sit and watch that snow runoff just beat the shit out of the rocks. If you fell in it, you're dying. But it was awesome, and all of a sudden you look down. Here's a nice big wild leopard frog, just sitting there looking at you. Now this is just before you go up. I know exactly where that is. This is just before you get to the Ape Canyon, and then before. There's another spot you can go just before you get to the trailhead to Blue Lake, and you literally are looking at the mountain. It looks like you can while you're hiking it. It's beautiful. It's so wild up there. It's gorgeous. There's still a lot of destruction on my side too. So great thing. Where's that at? Oh, that's it.
Yeah, still
torrent of mud. Oh.
You should have seen the bridges. Now we camped 2 years ago.
Look, there's a Bigfoot in the background.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, it's right there. See him?
His head's poking out right there.
I'm Mark Zasky for Bigfoot. But we went to this spot and we camped with. There was some people that came down that had been going there for many years, and he was telling me. Now, I had gone up there years ago and camped before this washout, but he was telling me that the bridge that's up there now, that's steel, it's right there, above our camp. that was part of the washout from when the mountain blew.
Wow.
It's so cool to be up there and see. There's a giant boulder in another place up where I'm gonna be doing some stuff that came off, that literally came off the mountain and landed right at this creek, and it's there with a monument on it. Giant boulder. That's how destructive that was. All this stuff is, you got water doing this stuff. All of it's beautiful. I love I hate the politics here, but I love this state, boy, for its beauty.
Yep.
There's always something to do, especially if you live in a little community like I do. So it's
just
I'm
beautiful.
happy every day to get up and go to work and come home. And my drive in the morning is unbelievable because I'm up at 4:00 in the morning. By 4:30, I'm out the door to drive 47 miles to work. And I get to drive that whole thing, and I see elk and deer. Sometimes during the full moon, the way it comes off the reservoir, it's beautiful.
47 miles. Dang, that's far to go to work.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I got to drive 47 to come home, too. Thank God I drink and drive. Not true. I'm just kidding.
Well, look, you got her. She kisses in your environment there. Look,
Take a shot of heroin on the way home.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just, there's all the dispersed camps are like that. You'll drive into a place like that and it'll be surrounded like that. And most of them have water, or at least water nearby. And I think that's what attracts the Sasquatch there is. Not only do you have the berries at the time of year, but you've got water. So, jeez.
Oh, okay. I'm bogging down my system now.
Yeah, they've changed a lot though. They've closed a lot of roads, not just up there, but heading the other direction into Skamania County. They've closed a lot of roads where we went just a couple of years ago, where my deceased friend was, and his wife were camping, their kids and all that, and we were picking shiitake, not shiitake, the yellow ones. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what they're called, but they're
ones are big. Come on.
You got yellow ones and you got white ones. Chanterelles. We were picking those like crazy. So, oh shit, we got big heads now.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm taking them away again.
I'm eating a cracker with special cheese on it again, so I'm just going to disappear. I'll listen and talk, but
Now, see, this happens all the time.
That's scary. Ooh. Look, there's your helicopter taking Bigfoot away.
Well, he actually jumped in there because he didn't want to be left behind. So,
Yeah.
you have a picture of the chopper that crashed into Merrill Lake,
No,
trying to
I
get
don't.
water to put the fires out.
I sure don't.
That was really something. God knows how much those things cost.
so when that blew off, that cut a lake right off, didn't it? Eventually.
Yes, it literally moved Spirit Lake. Spirit Lake was here. Now Spirit Lake is here. Cold Lake wasn't even there. Now it's Cold Lake. So it's
did the wrong thing.
yeah, it's definitely and of course we go up to Cold Lake way back in the 90s. Nobody told us you have to stand on a certain place and what kind of bait you can use. So of course my wife is like the consummate. If I catch a 12-inch fish, she's immediately going to catch one that's 20 inches. That's just how, I mean, seriously. My first sturgeon was 42 inches. Her first one was 46. So, or 56. I mean, so she casts out, catches one about like so, she throws out again, and she catches this monster. And so we're walking out with it, and this guy he comes out of nowhere. He's like, you can't, you guys can't fish there, right? And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I didn't know that now. But he wasn't a game warden or anything. He's like, yeah, you need to get that fish out of here then because you can't fish there. You're supposed to stay on these particular paths. So we ate that for dinner that night at camp, and along with some, bullfrogs. Me and my boys caught like 100 bullfrogs, big bullfrogs. Silver Lake had the dam had broke that Silver Lake was a part of at that time, and so we had camped that weekend, and I took the boys, and of course, everybody's fishing. We had guests with us too, and we look under this dock, and there's just hundreds of bullfrogs, good pounders and all that. So we couldn't figure out how to get under there to get them because the mud was so thick you couldn't get through there. So I said, well, the spaces were like that in between each plank. So I said, well, you guys hold on a second. Let Dad try this. Now, the boys are boys, okay? Jason may have been 14. Joshua was probably 7 or 8. So I dropped this hook down there. I pulled it. I went straight through that thing. I had to pull him up, but so we started filling coolers with him. Oh my God! I barbecued him up at camp. I made a great big old beef roast. What I did was I cooked it in tea, and tea is a great thing to cook meat in. So I did all these things. I didn't get the bullfrogs completely done, and I'll tell you, I was so sick. Oh my! No one else ate the bullfrogs but me. I'm telling you, that's as sick as I've ever been in my life. Oh my God! Make sure you cook your bullfrogs. Oh my God! Bullfrogs, some good tasting stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, I can't.
You'll have to let us know, but not tell us it's bullfrog, and we'll say, "Hey, this is really good, Jay." And you'll say, "You'll know, it's bullfrog." What?
Tastes just like chicken.
I'll never forget my grandma. Are you kids ready for some turkey burgers? We're all little kids. Yeah. So we're eating this. It's kind of tough, but it's really tasty. So at the end of the night, she tells us, "You know what that really was? Like, it was turkey burger, right, Grandma?" She's like, "Bull balls. Those were from castration." And I was like, "You mean like they're actual balls?" No. It was delicious. I'll never eat them again, though.
Yeah, and she had a good laugh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just can't. I can picture.
That's
I know what frogs smell like and everything.
Just act like you're not.
I can't kill the bullfrogs and shit like that now. I mean, I look at them and they look at you right in the eye and everything. I'm like, but I do like to hold them. I've always been fascinated with reptiles, turtles. I love turtles. We have a lot of turtles up here. In fact, up here in Cougar, back in probably 1989, we were camping up here, and it's a spot you can no longer get into, of course. And I looked down and I saw a rock moving. So I look again, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a turtle. Now, this is up in the wild mountains, okay? Well, it was a Western mountain painted turtle. I picked that thing up, and it was about, it fit in my hands like this, meaner than a rattlesnake with a toothache. Man, that thing was mean. But it had no color, and it was like living in the mud with a small batch of water around it. And I went back 3 weeks in a row and caught that thing over and over. They were very predictable, but it just was. And then we had a bad one of the in Cougar, one of the water systems that they have up here to make sure that the town is backed up, exploded and flooded everything out. And literally, thank God nobody was camping. You can't camp down in there anymore. They won't allow it. But that's for years where we camped. Years. Oh, wow. So yeah, you can't do that anymore. Caught lots of beautiful cutthroat trout, wild cutthroat trout up in there, and just loved it. That's what we would, for all these years, man. Everything we caught or whatever, we cooked and we ate. It's just fun. So I'm hoping this year that by the time July comes that we can actually have fires. If this rain keeps up, it'd be awesome. That's beautiful. Which one is that?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
That one. That's Spirit, I think.
Is that Spirit? That's the one. I haven't been to Spirit. I've been to Cold Lake, and I can show you where the Kalama River starts up here on Mount St. Helens. So a few things like that are it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of beautiful things going on here.
Spirit Lake's the biggest one, and you haven't been to that one?
No, because I don't care. I don't care because it's Spirit Lake. I mean, I feel I know that David Johnston and Harry Truman, they're buried under multiple tons of ash, and maybe in a couple thousand years, some archaeologist might find them. I have so much respect for those guys and what they did. There's just that mountain is so beautiful, and it has caused a lot of damage to a lot of people's lives. But a lot, look, Mark Marcel will tell you, Spirit Mountain is not. When the natives named this Spirit Mountain, that doesn't mean the spirits of the great everything, and it's the bad spirits. And I think when you look back in primitive times, if you're afraid of something, you're going to call it bad. That's how I don't know. I trust what I hear as far as what the natives want to say, but I also know that even though you're going with God, this is such a delicate subject. If you're word of mouth will change. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. 1,000 years of putting down verbal, it's going to change. Someone's going to add a word. Someone's going to take a word out. Someone's going to put a little bit of spice in it, type of thing. So, but I do believe that it's named for Mark Marcel's done a lot of that kind of research, and the natives named it that because it was a spirit of bad mountains. So, that lodge is gone. That is way gone, Steve. Way gone.
Wow.
And David Johnson, they'll never find him. I mean, his last words were on the radio, Vancouver. This is it. So,
is he the one who cut the film of it exploding in?
Yes, he was. He had literally. Well, and then you had another guy on a ridge several miles away that was filming it, and he barely escaped. But most of the films you see, those people perished.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a very heartbreaking.
Yeah, one of the guys there, he wasn't planning on dying that day, but he was there, and then he realized, I'm not getting out of here. And then he said that actually on one.
Yeah, he said, "I'm in hell."
Yeah,
and I'm dying.
Then
the young couple,
Yeah.
my heart breaks for the young couple that were in love. They were celebrating something. They were in the forest. They had some. They were like, the girl was too young to drink. Like she was 17 or whatever. But anyway, they were having some sort of a celebration between two of them. He loved her. She loved him. And so they were having a drink of champagne and all that because I think he asked her to marry him or something like that. Oh. These poor kids got caught in there. Now they're not together to this day, but they're best friends. And she had lost like the skin on half her arm. I think his arms were broken and his hair was burnt off, and it was horrifying. But they got out of there. Him and her together got out of there. And that's you would think with a story like that, you'd be together forever, but they're friends forever. So I think that's the bond that I think makes it more important than anything. So,
yep.
Right.
But I hate when I see people on podcasts and even on the news reporting things about Mount St. Helens that didn't happen, how the mountain blew and what happened and stuff. You're giving false information. That's not what happened. And it drives me nuts when that happens. There was so much death and destruction up here. There's a place 30 miles from here. Guy can have some great lunch with some friends and stuff and show the house that is still buried. A-frame house, still buried with everything that came with the house is still in there. and it's a place where you stop, pull over, and look at that house, and you see what Mother Nature did to people. And so I'm looking forward to a lot of things that are coming in the future. So
I think it's time to move. I think we need to move on to some current announcements.
Sure.
So the whole big deal. Some people already know about this because some special invitations have already gone out. But we are having a Mount St. Helens Sasquatch Shindig, July 26th through the 30th. At Mount St. Helens, and it's all going to be hosted by Jay Burch and Bigfoot BBQ, Michael Gallagher out of Canada, the Howler, who's, I think he's listening. I think he's in the chat. And I am the point of contact for this event, and we'll be attending. So it looks like in July, end of July, I'll be heading to Washington, and we are ecstatic. There's already six people have confirmed. About 18 invitations, special invitations have gone out, but it is an open event and anybody can go. It's dry camping. You have to provide your own transportation, gear, and food. But it's looking promising that we're going to be able to bring, it's a joint alliance Bigfoot adventure for the U.S. and Canada.
I'm looking forward to just having some fun with my friends. And I want Grasshopper too. I hope that Grasshopper comes. This is important to me because I can take you guys to some of these places that we just looked at. We have about 5 days to do it. So it's going to be action packed for sure. All right. The cooking's going to be off the charts because me and Michael are hosting. Look, we're going to share the food with everyone. You just make sure that you bring some food. Nikki's the sous chef. Nikki's already said that I'll be the sous chef. So we're going to have some great North cooking, with some Pacific Northwest cooking, with some Southwestern United States cooking. And so I'm excited about that. And the fellowship. We're going to have a round table discussion. Everything is going to be filmed from every angle that's possible. I want the people that are coming to bring their equipment, their video equipment, whatever it is you have. I'm supplying Nikki with a tent and some very comfortable gear for her to sleep in. And yep. Oh yeah. My wife already said we're going to spoil her. So that's just, so
I'm excited.
I can't invite every single person that I ever see. So I'm sorry about that, but we'll see how this year goes and see about the coming years, because I have to make sure I'm going to take the vacation already. And I'm going to get up there and what me and Steve Curious Cryptid call Operation Orange Tent. And that is, I take gear up there and set it up and make it look like somebody's there. And that's how we saved the spot when I just told Steve Operation, and everything. So he knew to pull in there with the tent and all that. And him and his wife had the spot already taken for us and everything. So because I had to work and all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that our Canadian brothers make it. I personally want to absolutely invite Leon, and you already invited, but Howler, are you serious? We're already talking today, you jerk. I made those wraps last night. He liked them so well, he made them today, and I thought his looked better than mine because I should have chopped my chicken up. And so mine were sloppy, but so delicious. Oh my God.
So I have a question.
Nobody's making mountain oyster burritos. Hopefully nobody.
I have a question. So is there camping there regarding like a camper? A person can pull a camper behind them?
Oh yeah, you can pull. Michael's bringing a trailer. This is dispersed camping. Now we can't just do one spot. As soon as I found out how many people are coming, then I can tell you I need to secure a couple campgrounds, but they're all going to be close enough to where we can all meet. And yeah. But I know that the Howler wants to bring his trailer, and that's fine with me. And I know a place where I can set him up and all that. I want to make sure we're in the spots though, as far as at night to experience what we experience here. And it has to do with that ridge, I'm telling you. And there's a water source there too. And the berries are going to be in full swing. So, that's going to be awesome because my wife at camp can make the world's best wild berry cobbler. Now, I've told Alexander Petikoff that you come up here, man. I will make you a cake. I know how to make a cake on a campfire. I'll do these things. This is what I do. So I'm just
driving people with food. Okay.
Yeah, don't bring too many.
Already happened, but we are setting it forth really early so people can really start to put in for their time off,
right.
Can save money, to give enough people to do that. You know, we're 6 months out. 7 months out.
Thomas, I need Thomas. I'm sending him personally right now tonight. Thomas, I would give anything for you to come and do this. I would love.
We already talked about that. We were just on a show yesterday with him, and I talked to all those guys. Yeah, so
he is the last giant of the shoulders we stand on. That's the truth.
What?
He is
better people out there than he is.
I've always liked him. Always.
And we've invited, quite a few people, and I know a lot of you have received those invitations. So we're excited about that. My hosts are of course going to be Jay and Brent. Brent's going to be picking me up and hosting me until we get to the campsite. Jay with all my gear, and it would take me 3 days to probably drive up there.
Yeah, it's 3 days because Monday and I used to live in Amarillo. When we moved back here, it was a 3-day drive.
Yeah, so I would have to take like just a week travel, go and coming home. And
I thought you were hitchhiking, Nikki.
My thumb will get too tired. Yeah, nope.
Yeah, Mom's excited about this too because we're finally in a way that we can do this. And she's like, "Well, you gotta let people know, because you're not going to supply all the food." And I was like, "Well, yeah, they know. People know. Geez."
No, they don't. We're expecting you guys.
I owe Steve.
Transportation, gear, and food are all on you. Now we're going to share some stuff, and we'll make it work. But
I owe Steve's wife. I owe Steve's wife a big, beautiful steak, and I'm making that for her special. So that's because I cooked almost all pork when they were down here, and I didn't know she wasn't a big pork fan. So I'm going to make her her very own steak. It's going to be done. I'm going to do some flat rock stuff with the fire if we can have a fire. So
yeah,
but I'm already working on. I'm making a smoker right now that I can take with me and stuff. So.
And just a little information: the photo there of the Bigfoot, the Howler sketched that. He sketched that and then gave it to my daughter, and she fixed it up and colored it, and
I like it.
The rest. So that was pretty much Howler's design, though. He won't, we wanted the Mount St. Helens in the background, but I told him that if they look like that, I'm not going.
Don't know till you're there.
Don't scare me already.
So, Nikki, are you staying at Brent's place before the 26th?
Yeah.
Okay. What day are you popping in there?
The day before, like the 25th through the 1st.
Because
Brent knows exactly where to go to. So.
Well, that's what I was saying, because I could come from Kelowna down to where he is.
And then we could all,
together, so because he would know how to get there. So
We might have to rent a van or something.
So we're gonna make a few. Like I have a bathroom set up for Nikki personally, for her personally. My wife has her own, and but it's mostly, guys. There's no bathrooms, there's no showers, there's none of that stuff. But Cougar is 10 miles back the other way, and there you can. There is a Cougar camp, I think, or Beaver Bay camp. One of them has showers that you can literally, if you want to drive down there and do it, you can take a shower for, I don't know if they charge or not, but you literally can go to those campsites and take a shower. So,
oh,
Now, the
showers.
third day, I'll be letting know who needs a shower. Trust me.
You want to make the Sasquatches attracted to you, so you stink. And we have a group of us that all stink. We have a higher chance.
I just want everybody to be who they are. Don't be fake, or just be who you are. Be your personality. I didn't change anything about myself when I had Brent and Steve up there and his wife. I am who I am. I like to laugh. I like to sing. The thing is, for me, that even though I can't sing anymore because of what COVID did to my voice, I still like to sing. You know. Oh shit! Oh, if you've got that trailer, that means people can take a shower because you got the outdoor thing. Nice. I do have one of those black bags that heat up with the sunshine.
I have one of those too. See, I can't have any of my gear. It's going to be so weird. Brand new tent. I have a brand new tent.
I have a very nice tent that actually hooks up to a vehicle if you wanted it to. But this tent I'm setting up for you. And not only am I going to put, you have your choice. I'm either going to put a cot in there. I may put a cot and a nice blown up mattress for you. Whatever it takes to get you comfortable.
I'm coming. Set it all up. I'll be there. Probably the cot, though. Probably. That's what I use. I use a cot now.
I just want to spoil your butt, Nikki, because I can't wait to see you. Jeez. It's funny. What I'm happy about also, what I'm very excited about is knowing you guys for a couple of years on the internet. Okay, that's one thing. But now we get to sit together. And that was what with Steve and Brent, I was so impressed with the amount of time I got to spend with them. And so I've missed them, for a couple of years. So I'm glad that the people that are coming, I'm very happy that I'm going to be able to spend real time, have real conversations and all the great things that you do for real friendship. Because in the modern day, this is how we're all friends. Kind of weird. I would never have thought of this when I was a kid, that you love people, but you have not stood in the same room with them, type of thing. Is weird.
Steve, is Steve bringing his wife?
Yep.
He better.
Yep.
I ain't bringing my husband. No.
Well, I'm grateful for your husband to tell you to go ahead and book a flight.
I know. He did that right away, too, because he knew how much it meant to me. So he was like, well, you better buy it fast, because I went to a conference one time and I waited till last minute and the tickets were like outrageous. But looks like I can get a pretty good deal if I buy within the week. So I'm going to be doing that.
I want to make it clear that if you drink, I drink. Be respectful. Don't. I just want to make sure. I want people to be themselves. But if you drink or do whatever it is you do, be respectful. I drink most of the time on the last two times that I had guests up there. That's just what that's when I'm out in the forest, that's kind of a relaxation for me. So, but just be respectful. And,
well, the last time I was down the States doing the same idea as this is we had a guy in the middle of the night trying to kill everybody. There was 30 of us.
What?
Yeah. and that I mentioned it sometimes. I don't tell everybody the story, but there was 30 of us, and it was the same scenario, which is we'd all talked for a few years, and we thought we would go to this one Bigfoot outing thing. And it turns out the guy who actually put it on went to a mental breakdown stage, and he proceeded to have a hatchet in one hand and an axe or a hammer in another hand.
Oh man!
And we were stuck on top of a mountain
Oh, shit.
for the whole night. And so what you're saying, I would just phrase it a little differently, Jay, and that is basically, if you're an asshole, especially if you're drinking, don't come. And secondly, ask your friends whether or not you're an asshole when you drink. So don't be confident to have confirmation. Oh, I'm a fun guy. Ask your friends and see what they say. And they say you're not, then don't come. Like, that's because you only one crazy nut job, right? So
I think I saw Brent drink 2 beers.
Yeah.
In an entire weekend. 2 beers. I think I saw him drink 2. Steve didn't touch anything, and neither did his wife. And I offered them everything from water to, Kool-Aid, I think. So
I think they were Arizarians.
I just hope that this whole thing is geared. I want to take you guys to a lot of spots. Better have some gas money. We're going to go to a lot of things. You want to see the ape caves? That's just right up here. I want to take you guys to Silver Lake. I want to take you to where when the mountain blew, this entire community got buried. It's not too far from Silver Lake. It's it's about less than an hour drive from me here in Cougar. So I want to make sure as a host that I get as much in for your money that nobody's paying me. Okay, that didn't sound right. Because you're taking the time to take the trip. I want to get you guys as much fun as we can possibly get in. Besides, we need to have a round table. Brent and I have talked about this over and over. I want to have everybody sitting and we'll make a round table, and we're going to talk about, what do we think Sasquatch is? What do we think about any of it? What's going on? And I think everyone's opinion, I think, is important. And I want to do that. I want to have us all together while somebody sends a drone up and videos us. I think.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, while we're all standing together, and because I think this trip is important, and as older I get and I get sicker and sicker, I want to do this, and I want to make this great for all of you. So
don't put too much pressure on yourself.
I'm so happy I can't tell you.
Make it better for you. Realize that we're coming up there to enjoy you, not that you have to do anything for us.
I'm looking forward to. I have cornhole, and we're going to be playing that. So I'm not very good at it, but I have the game, and we're going to play it.
So Leon, is that a yes from you that you will be there?
What?
Is that a yes that you're going to be there?
Well, I mean, I'm still learning to walk, but the goal
I know.
I heard that. The idea for me is to use it as motivation to make sure I can walk. Right. I love to go. I like caving. So the problem with me is I want to go caving, and you
want to go do stuff. We're going to park you in front of the right way fire and feed you. That's what we're going to do.
But no, and I got things I want to do there too. Like I definitely will take a look at the map, and I'll think of a strategy thing that I'd like to accomplish while I'm there, looking for the finding evidence and stuff like that. And with Steve and Brent up there, it'll be good. And the good thing is I get to finally hug Jay, which is nice. He probably could handle a good wholesome.
I could.
And like I said, it can be a great time. Like that experience I had, unfortunately, was such a horrifying time. But the people I went to see were great. And they were really good people. And, they're still my friends today. And that was a while back, like 5 years, I think, or 6 years ago. And so it's not about the event like Jay was talking about earlier. It's about the people you're going to go see. Yeah. So, but no crazies. Okay. If you have a drinking problem, or if you're a talker of everything's me, listen to what I have to say, No, because I was just on a show with 5 guys yesterday, and we all discussed everything that you talked about. And I thought, yeah, this is a round table. This is what you want. You want the ability for everyone to just have a good environment. But if you're what is that called? There, you got itchy finger or whatever with a gun, trigger finger in regards to your ideas, and you want to just keep, well, you're wrong and you're wrong and you're this. This is not the group of people. We want to look at evidence,
Right.
and find out strategies and talk about that kind of stuff. We're not interested in any of the politics inside.
I will bring the duct tape and handcuffs if you're acting silly.
Yeah.
The thing is, my wife will call anybody out right off the bat. She is not afraid to do it either, boy. So,
and you can message out there right away so people can decide right away. Okay.
And you can ask Steve. I had the 44 Magnum. I carried it the entire weekend, but I never, ever brandished it, or
Right.
For me, I just want a fellowship with the people that I consider my friends on the internet. I really would love to have people like Jen come and My Eyes, but we can't have everybody. I can't have 50 people up there. I wouldn't even know what to do with you guys because I have to get up there and get the spots to begin with. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there has to be an understanding that, Jay can only maybe hold on to maybe five spots, 20 people, that he can be responsible for. Anybody can come, but you need to make your own arrangements. At some point, he's not going to be responsible for everybody. Okay. We're all just coming as our own people together. Now, if you're flying in, it's a different thing. You need to find somebody who's going, who can sponsor you, like I did, like Brent and Jay are both sponsoring me with something. Okay. So that I could make this trip. But maybe you can hook up with somebody else who's coming, who has an extra tent and some gear that can help you out with that if you want to fly in. But if you're driving in, you have your own gear, you need to know that, you might not be right at the main site, but you'll be a couple of sites down, and we'll get together throughout the time. You can do whatever you want. Go see any of the sites in the area at whatever time you want to. It's not going to be a Beachfoot or a conference where there's time slots for everything. It's not going to be like that. This is a true fellowship. People are going to say on the fly, hey, do you want to go with me over here? Do you guys want to go a trail over here? Because we can't have issues where we're having all these transportation problems and, people feeling hurt if they get left out. And this is not going to be about that. Okay. We're grown-ups. If you want to do certain things, then you need to make your own arrangements. Don't depend on anybody else unless it's been fixed prior.
Be flexible.
Hit Curious Cryptid real quick, would you?
What? Oh, what did you see? Whoops, it jumped. Hold on, the chat jumped. It won't come on.
Yeah, it is.
It's right there. Brent walked down the trail. We told him if. Oh, you got rid of it.
It's stuck. The button is there. Okay.
If you hear one,
when Brent walked down the trail, we told him if we hear 1 or 2 shots, we'll come help. If he empties the clip, we'll be waiting in the cars.
Let me tell you something. Brent walked up there with my friend at one point. That he's no longer my friend. His choice, not mine. They walked up there together, and it was dark, and oh my God, there was a tree snapped and all that, and they heard something running away. Brent got the whole thing on audio. So, but yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, maybe someone should donate us a box of Depends in case we do. If some excretion happens, that we're in a real personal emotional emergency, I guess. Emotional emergency. Oh my God, I just need my pants. I edited.
Oh my God. It's okay, Jay. I like primitive camp. I take care of myself. I'll be the one coming out of the bushes in camo. Don't shoot.
It is primitive. This is primitive camping that we're doing.
Yeah, well, that's what I get a kick out of you guys from the States is, well, it's like you in a way, Jay. You wouldn't feel it this way, or Brent wouldn't either. This is normal camping for Canadian. It's like
it's awesome.
Like, and you're in a beautiful country, and oh my God, we're worried about all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, just your brain taking and worrying about just get used to being in good, like again, back to that rhythm, that prehistoric rhythm of just hanging with people and doing stuff and doing your own thing and having your own
Jen,
space.
the info right there. It's sitting there on the screen. I
would love Jen to come. I would love it. So
what's dry camping?
Dry camping is there's
no toilets.
We got to bring water. We're going to be bringing water. And the thing is, I just want people to know we can drive right down to our place. We're on a well. If we have to get more water and all those types of things, if somebody doesn't want to use the bathrooms that we're going to provide up there, I have no problem shuttling you back down. There is right here in Cougar, there is a very nice rest area, and you can use those bathrooms. I just want people to be comfortable. So I have no problem. For me, I just want to have some fun. I hope somebody brings a guitar, or if you know how to play anything, bring it. And the main thing I think for Sasquatch work is you have to just camp, do the things you do, camp, and I want to have fun with you guys, all of you. So. And I'm anxious to meet some people that I see all the different code names and stuff, but I don't know who you are. And I would love to meet you as far as what that is. I'm who I am. I'm Jay Burch. My name is Jason, Jayson, Philip Burch. And I go by Jay only in the Sasquatch world. So I'm Jason for everyone else. So.
Good. I'll keep that in mind when I see you. Hey, Jason.
I hate it when my wife does her show. She's like, "So we're working on this thing that Jay made the other." I don't like hearing that come out of her mouth. I hate it. Well, she used to call me. Her dad called me Jace for all the years before he passed away. He called me Jace, Jays. And then one day she goes, "Hey, Jace," and I was like, "You can't call me that. You don't call me that." Your dad called me that. You don't call me that. There's just certain things, like everybody I know in the Bigfoot world, including somebody I hung out with for a couple of years who decided that I was no longer worthy because I didn't believe in the woo, called me Jay. And I remember the shocked look on his face when I went to his house and I had my work uniform on. It said Jason. Him and his daughters were both, "Jason? Who's that?" And I was like, "Well, obviously it's me." My mother gave me that great Jay thing. So there's 4 of us at work, 4 Jasons, 3 with the Jason and me with the Jay.
Sounds like someone has a J fetish. The letter J fetish.
Well, you figure if you see J as Jay, right? So if you called a Jason J, wouldn't it be Jaw?
Jaw. No, that's like father. Okay, so I'm the point of contact. So if you guys need any information, my email's located on there. If you need me to send you this invite here, just let me know and I'll shoot you one over. But I'm taking on that responsibility of organizing people who's coming and not, because we want to know who's coming, for the fact that we don't want people to be missing, and we want to make sure that if there's areas we need to expand on, or we need to talk to the forest people, the forest service or whatever, we need to find more information about how many we can have in per camp, because I know in like Arizona and New Mexico, there's limits onto how many tents you can have per camp, how many cars, how many this and that. So we just need to make sure we have all the rules set and enough room for
there
people.
should be somewhat of a cutoff date. When would that be?
Um,
2nd of July.
Yeah, it should be as soon as July hits that we need to, I mean, people are going to come no matter what, and they're not going to tell anybody, and they're going to show up, and we're going to be happy. But, for our purpose, we need to know, and I would like to know answers on who's going to be coming for reals by the end of June. So.
Yeah, I think that should be the way it goes by the end of June. And then I need to know how many people so that I have time to do the Operation Orange Tent.
See, we need all that kind of info and stuff. And there is a chat group that we established just specifically for the shindig. And my initial was I invited everybody and put everybody in there. But as you figure out that you can't go, let me know so I can take you out of that. I know you want to stay in there and hear what's going on, but the less people I have in that chat, just leaves room for us to talk about, important things. So I'm trying to keep that. It's not to be cool, okay? We're all friends with each other. You can have your conversations, but this particular group of people is for the shindig. It's not.
I would like to say that what Joe posted the other day in there, my brother, I laughed my ass off couldn't stop laughing that what you posted. I'm not going to say it out loud.
What?
I laughed so hard. God dang it. Joe's a rebel boy. I swear.
Oh, what Joe said?
Yes. But
that was
he's like, I'm sorry you left the group. Oh my God, dude. You made my whole entire day.
I know Joe thought I was scolding him for putting a joke up in the chat. And I'm like, oh, Joe, I'm trying to keep this professional here. I'm trying to keep this just about this shit. And I'm sorry. I could just picture. I'm sorry.
Joe left the chat.
Yeah. I laughed so hard.
Yeah. But, I guess I didn't make it clear in the beginning, but it's okay. I still love you, Joe. Happy birthday. Oh, now I have the ability to give Joe this.
Yay.
Happy birthday!
Yay, Joe. Where I'm like, why can't I see that? Oh, okay. So anyway, happy birthday, Joe. Love you. I lost my train of thought with Mr. Joe. Anyway, there is. We got to get on it because I don't want to go into Steve's show. So the next thing is I have another announcement. I'm going to be on Unidentified S4, a UFO paranormal channel. Anthony, I forgot to look up his last name again. Esplanani. I don't know how to say his last name. Anyway, he's going to be interviewing me on Wednesday, July the 11th at 10 a.m. So I hope y'all put that on calendars to talk about, you know what I'm going to talk about. He wants to hear about the hoaxers and our favorite hoaxer of all, of course. So it may be stuff you guys have already heard, but I'm excited for that to meet some new people and get to know some more peoples and bring them in over here. So that's another big thing. And my last thing of the evening is my sad part.
Oh,
And so my friend Brent has officially resigned as my co-host for the show. So I'm sad. I'm just sad. I don't want to get emotional because I kind of am. But we're still great friends and I support him in everything he does. And I think he should keep doing what he's doing because we need that in the community. And he's not leaving because I asked him to, because I asked him to stay. And I'm not afraid of anybody else or telling, doing what they're doing and trying to tell people how to run their shows or how to think. So I love you, Brent, and I support you.
Amen.
So with that,
Hold on.
Okay.
Brent and I have been friends for a couple of years, and we made a pact with each other a couple of years ago that we would be friends to the end. I may have had problems with one researcher after another. He may have, but we made a pact that we'd be friends to the end. And I want Brent to know that I will love you forever. We talk about this privately, but I support you 100% in what you do. You're trying to improve what's going on here. I love you, and I hope everything the best for you. And I can't wait to see you in July, brother.
And
Yep.
I just got to add, because you got to add some lightness to this whole thing. Honestly, if you put a little groundhog picture of a face of a groundhog on Brent's pictures down there, they would look the same. Especially the one in the middle there. It looks like he's on top of a head.
Yeah, he does. He does. I love you, Brent.
No,
I love you guys. Thanks for coming on and spending the last couple of hours with me. It was a great chat. I enjoyed it a lot. And man, I care about all you guys so much. I hope you all know that. So we'll see you in the next chat. See you Tuesday. I'll be in JoJo morning Mojo with JoJo show, and then Wednesday with Unidentified S4. I love you guys. Bye.